The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos heads back to the north for the first time this campaign period. And he's also expected to return to the metro later this afternoon. Marian Enriquez now joins us live from Cagayan to give us more details on this. Good morning, Marian. Could you tell us the situation over there? What are you seeing?
Naimbag nga bikat, Charles, we're here at the BBM Sara Unity headquarters in Carig Norte in that Gigarao, Cagayan. And actually, as early as 5 in the morning, we've seen supporters started arriving here at the venue to welcome their presidential bet. We're still waiting for the arrival of presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos Jr., where he will lead the inauguration of the Unity headquarters. This is the first visit that Marcos Jr. visited Cagayan since the start of the campaign period. We're actually seeing about 2,000 people on the ground. It was initially announced that Marcos' team will hold a motorcade from the airport, but this did not push through as Marcos needs to fly out for another event at the Amoranto Sports Complex in Quezon City later today. In this event, Marcos is expected to be joined by his running mate and vice presidential aspirant Sara Duterte. Former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, who is celebrating his 98th birthday today, is also expected to formally endorse Marcos. Recall that in November, Enrile and his daughter Katrina, who is gunning for a congressional seat in the 1st District of Cagayan, had forged an alliance with Marcos Jr. But it was also Enrile who served as one of the leaders of the Reformed Armed Forces Movement, or RAM, and the People Power Revolution that ousted former dictator Ferdinand Marcos from Malacanang back in 1986. But now Enrile is supporting yet another Marcos to return to the palace. Charles, Mayor Sara Duterte is expected to conduct a motorcade from Isabela to Tutugarao tomorrow, and the Unity team is expected to be in the solid north provinces, including Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, and Abra. Charles?
Marian Enriquez reporting live from Cagayan. Several survivors of the ambush incident in Maguindanao on Saturday have now been discharged from the hospital. They now recount the incidents that led to the fatal ambush. Gemma Vansenia has the details.
Anwar Di Masinsin was holding his gun as he went out of the Maguindanao Provincial Hospital yesterday. He was wounded after their group was ambushed in Gindulongan, Maguindanao last Saturday. Other survivors, Mangi Mama Sainged and Banarin Lumalag, who suffered from gunshot wounds, were also discharged. Di Masinsil said they were on their way to Barangay Kitapok for a kanduli, or peace offering, to settle clan disagreements when the incident happened. He said they were led by Bangsamoro Islamic Armed Forces MILF Commander Pegis Mama Sainged, also known as Black Magic. But they were ambushed by the other camp led by Jordan Mamalintang, or Commander Jordan.
Saan mo kayo papunta sana?
Sa Barangay Kitapok para mag-ayos ng grido at saka 3 days ng tita ko. Tapos nung din sabi nung tito ko si Kapitan Tamano Mamalapat, sabi niya wag na kami magdala ng pulis para kasi mga tito ko naman siya. O, nung kuan, hindi namin alam na pinapatambangan pala kami.
Nagulat na lang kayo nung...
Nagulat din kami nung kuan. Habang binabaril ako, nakabaril naman ako sa kanila.
Sir, paano kayo nung nagulat na lang kayo nung may biglang nagbabaril sa inyo?
Oh, kitang-kita ko yung lahat ng bumaril. Mga tito ko man at saka pinsan ko yung bumaril sa akin.
Doon sa may itim.
Ford Ranger.
Yung
Ranger.
Saan kayo banda nun, sir? Sa likod?
Opo. Nakikisakay lang man ako kasi pupunta ako doon sa pinsan namin na namatay, 7 days. Pero pinsan ko rin lahat yun.
Sir,
Pinsan ko rin dito.
sir nakaganti kayo?
Nagaganti kami.
10 were killed in the ambush, including Commander Black Magic and his sons Saddam, Sadre, and Johari. The survivors said around 20 armed men ambushed them.
20. Kasi 3 grupo yun yung naharap namin at saka yun sa tagiliran.
Papunta sila sa Barangay Kitapok upang magkaroon ng redo settlement sa kanilang problema, parang family feud nila doon sa isang grupo. Tinambangan sila ng mga suspect. base sa ating investigation, ma'am, grupo ni Commander Jordan at ang kanyang anak na si alias Ngilong.
The family feud started last 2018 when the pregnant wife of Commander Jordan, Mama Lintang, was killed in Maguindanao. The suspects were the three sons of Commander Black Magic.
Bigat din sa kalooban ng mga anak at asawa na babae pinatay. Pero ganun pa magkakamag-anak, yung pipinsang buo. Dapat hindi ganun, kaya nga sinettle na eh, di ba? Ang akin naman doon, ako'y nakikiramay doon sa mga napaslang, sana hindi na to magdugtungan pa, sa halip na lang siguro ipatawag ng nakakataas sa atin para hindi na madugtungan yung mga hidwaan dyan sa...
Multiple murder and multiple frustrated murder will be filed against the suspects. For News 5, Jem Avancenia, we are One News.
The tradition of buying Valentines bouquets and gifts from Dangwa is alive and well. To give us the latest situation and to give us an idea on the current bouquet prices, we now have Mon Gualvez reporting live from Manila. Mon, good morning. How is your Valentine's Day going so far?
Hi Charles, Manila's famous flower market, which is Dangwa, is now teamed with customers seeking to buy flowers for Valentine's Day. And since early this morning, a lot of people are going here in the flower market, in which they are trying to seek for the most affordable and yet yung sulit na bouquet that they can give to their loved ones. Charles.
Okay, so Mon, could you tell us approximately how many shoppers you're seeing in Dangwa this morning, and how does this compare to last year's numbers? Mas marami naman tao this time around.
Well, since the pandemic began, Charles, I can say that this Valentine's Day for Dangwa situation seems to be back to normal. Because last year, if we're going to compare it, kaunti lang talaga yung tao dito sa kahabaan nitong Dos Castilla Street. But now, as you can see, vehicles are really lining up at this point in time, in which a lot of buyers are also starting to go here and buy flowers. While, aside from being here present in this area, malakas pa rin, or should I say, hit pa rin talaga yung online version nitong mga flower shops that are stalled here in Dangwa. Charles.
Right, tell us about the price, yung presyo of the different kinds of bouquets there in Dangwa. Are they more expensive now than yesterday?
Well, actually, in terms of prices, there are a lot of kinds of options here, from simple to grand, depending on your bouquet. The cheapest is a single rose wrapped in a plastic that costs from 80 to 100 pesos. The price goes up to 350 pesos, depending on the type of rose, if it's Indian, African, or Ecuadorian. Arrangements cost anywhere between 200 to 500 pesos. Then sunflowers that are said to symbolize admiration also sell like hotcakes. 3 pieces of these arranged in the bouquet cost 800 pesos, while the price of a dozen arranged flowers is 1,500 pesos and up. And aside from flowers, stuffed toy bouquets and chocolates are also a hit. These can be bought from around 1,000 pesos depending on quantity and size. Bobo balloons also click because they stay inflated for about a month. These cost anywhere from 400 to 1,000 pesos. There are also these sophisticated looking fossilized or dried flowers that cost 120 pesos a piece. And if you're looking for something all in, there's also a Valentine package here. The cheapest is 1,500 pesos that already has a mini bouquet, brownies, and balloons. Charles.
Sounds like good news for all those who are yet to cram their Valentine's Day shopping, Mon. But then how is the traffic going to Dangwa? Will it be a problem for those who have yet to do their Valentine's Day shopping? And ikaw ba, Mon, nakabili ka na ng flowers?
Well, actually, to answer your first question, to all those who are just going here in Dangwa, expect heavy traffic. As you can see, aside from the deluge of customers here, there are a lot of delivery riders picking up flower orders, and the vehicles are actually stocked up here in Dos Castilla Street. And in terms of buying flowers, I'm really looking for something good na rin talaga, Nakabili na tayo kanina at naka-order na rin ng pang-online. Charles.
And there you go. That was Mon Gualvez reporting live from Manila. Despite his ongoing dispute with Patafa and a recent knee injury, EJ Obiena is back to his winning ways. This as he once again logged a record high jump abroad. Marty Bautista has the details.
EJ Obiena has recorded another season-high best to win the Orlen Cup in Łódź, Poland last February 11. Obiena soared past 5.81 meters, defeating former Olympic champion Thiago Braz of Brazil and bronze world championship medalist Piotr Lisek of Poland. EJ's previous best was a 5.7-meter finish in the ISTAF indoor meet in Berlin and the Beijer-Stavhoppskala in Uppsala. But EJ faced challenges even before he was able to jump. He shared with News 5 that he almost had to leave one of his poles at the airport while en route to Poland.
The lady at like 6 a.m. in the morning was telling me, hey, it's 2 kilos heavier than a normal bag. And I'm like, can't you make any exception? Because it's actually a pole. I can't like remove a couple of things inside and it's going to be 34 kilos. And he was like, no, 32 is the limit.
Although EJ admitted that it took a few events for him to get back into his groove, he did his best not to let the Patafa rift affect his mindset.
I needed to kind of just snap out of it and say, hey, wake up. You're a pole vaulter. You're supposed to pole vault. And today's a competition. Therefore, you're supposed to be pole vaulting. You're supposed to be focusing on that.
EJ hopes that this win would influence more young Filipinos to take up pole vaulting. He even shared how he initially planned on setting up a pole vault clinic after the Olympics.
I'm supposed to go in the Philippines. And my plan was to do a series of clinics around the country. Literally, pole vaulting is not that accessible. And my plan was to kind of bring a couple of poles with me and then leave it in that island or in that city.
With this win, the 26-year-old Tondo native managed not to only attain his season's best and the Orlen Cup 2022, but also qualify for both the 2022 IAAF World Indoor Championships and the World Athletics Championships. EJ Obiena will see action again in the meeting Haute de France on February 17. For News 5, Marty Bautista. We are One News.
And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 11 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.